It is the RIOT Podcast. This is the Thursday, May 18th edition, and this is Nikki's penultimate podcast.
So I have today's podcast, and then tomorrow is my last full-time, always on the RIOT Podcast. I'm going to pop back in every so often, but if you did not check out RadioU.com/Nikki, it's all explained there.
Now, Isaiah, I'm going to blow your mind. This is something that's not on the podcast because I'm just going to tell you now.
Blow
I already
my
told
mind.
Nikki. You know McDonald's, how you have you would, with your drink lid, it has a little saying on it, and then it has a little buttons that say like RB,
Love those,
Cola, yeah, and you like playing with them, don't you?
I always press them.
But you ever notice how it also has the little tabs that kind of go around that
Behind
are on, like,
it?
Yeah, that are like between those buttons and the edge of the drink.
You're talking about the little lifted things.
Yeah,
It's
those
the little
pokey up
rectangular
little,
sort of one behind the Pop-It bubbles.
You're saying like the lifted things.
Yeah, those little
lifted.
tabs.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you pop one of the bubbles in and then you pull that tab back, it pops the bubble back up? So you can
Really? Let me look this up.
Yeah, you got to
McDonald's Pop.
It's a big TikTok that's going on.
Yeah.
Is that-
Lid.
And I don't know if pulling the tab back is the right way to. It's just if you
like-
pop that tab.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of lifted things on
Yeah,
a
check
lid.
this-
Oh, you're talking about those
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
things.
Those
I'm with
ones.
it now.
So yeah, look, check this video out right here.
Let me
Why
see,
don't
let
I-
me see, let me
doesn't wanna
see.
play
So if you pop
there.
a wrong bubble and then you want to change it, you pop the other thing and it'll pop it back out.
No shot. Right. Geniuses.
Isn't that crazy?
We had no idea.
Yeah.
McDonald's is so smart.
Yeah.
How do they come up
I
with
mean-
stuff like this?
Did they do it or?
Oh, they had to have.
No, I bet you it's been like that forever. We just don't know.
They're not, they
maybe.
can't be the only ones that have that, right?
They're not, yeah.
Every fast food place does have slightly different lids, and I don't even know why they have the bubbles on there anymore because they don't use them.
They
you know?
never put what's correct. I always get like a Diet Coke, and I don't know if my taste buds have just changed, but like I doubt it every time.
And you go to any place, whether it's like McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, unless they have a freestyle, they always have the RB button on the top. They very rarely actually have root beer unless they have a freestyle
Yeah.
machine.
So
That's because the lids are that old.
yeah.
Yeah. And do you guys have like, what's your like nostalgic fast food drink? Not your favorite drink, but like one that gives you nostalgia. For me, it's for sure if I go to McDonald's and I get a high C.
Oh, that
Oh,
or
yeah.
the McDonald's Sprite people would always like.
They always still have that high
I always
C.
love-
That high C.
The McDonald's Diet Coke was always amazing, but I feel like during COVID or right around that time, they changed something with it, and it's never been the same.
Yeah.
Diet Coke.
It is, you know what it is for me? It's the McDonald's Coke. Just drinking that, which I can't do, but it's
Crisp
just so
and
good though.
cold and
Yeah, it's just
It is.
the bite with it. Yeah, there's
It always
something
has a little
special.
something special for
I
it.
feel like
Yeah.
I think they lessened the amount of syrup they were putting in because it wasn't as crisp and as just special, and it
Didn't
felt
like
more
burn
watered
the
down.
nostrils like you wanted.
Uh-huh.
I love that burn.
But all this we can say about all the positives of McDonald's. Why can't they invent a lid where you don't get the Coke squirting up through when you put the straw in?
You have that problem?
Yeah, you never have it where you pop the straw in and
Oh, it bubbles
the
out.
hole where it comes out not through the straw but around
And
the
what-
straw.
what do you do
And then
when it does that?
You sip it off the top.
yeah, you do.
Or you accidentally
let it go to waste.
You accidentally
You sip it
spill
right-
it on your pants, which I
Yeah, you
always
sip
hate.
it right off the
McDo-
top. Like the man you are.
Yeah.
You take it right off the top.
McDonald's is just like, what else can we do for you, Hudson? I mean, my
Yeah.
gosh. Well, enjoy the podcast today. We do have a lot that is featured in here. Should we unveil any more?
Yeah, I'll say one thing I'll say is we talk about sitting down when you pee, women, men, infants, whatever you are, don't do it.
So there's a study that shows what countries are more likely to, and it's a longer conversation for us.
Yeah, we did spend a lot of time. You know what though? I think this is a credit to our show. We don't normally do a lot of bathroom stuff.
No.
We like to keep it mature, and so we stray
I
away
thought
from
that was a pretty mature conversation about it.
Well, just the
I
topic.
don't know. I think
They
you
call
said that
it-
you can't be a man if you sit down to pee.
Is that an
I
immature?
believe you said.
That's a mature conversation. If you're
No,
sitting when
in
you
radio,
pee,
they're always like, don't do bathroom humor, which
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
potty humor, but then also literally means don't talk about bathroom stuff.
Yeah.
So it does
Although,
fall in that category.
in my experience, it often gets people chiming in.
Yeah.
Say what you want, but it gets people talking.
That is true. Well, okay, talk with us. If you text
Yeah.
at 8772 Radio U, once you hear the survey of countries and tell us if you understand why.
All right.
Oh, you want more?
No, that's
Oh, I
good.
can give
That's
more.
plenty. That's plenty.
I've got more.
That's
I think
more
we're
than
good.
enough.
That's plenty. You guys
We
have
also-
a wonderful
yep.
day.
All right. See you guys.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, that you saw the new trailer for the new Mission Impossible movie coming out.
I did. I watched it yesterday.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was really good. Like, I am a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
I felt like it's the only movie where they could show a lot of stuff and it doesn't feel like they've shown the whole movie.
Right.
Which is like the trend for a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Usually you watch a 3-minute trailer and it feels like you've seen all you need to see.
Yeah, like I probably saw all the action scenes where
Yeah.
I didn't quite get that feeling. I did feel like it wasn't maybe as spectacular as other Mission Impossible trailers.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe everybody's getting a little older.
Yeah, I see that.
The special effects were maybe not as flashier.
Less
but,
explosions.
Yeah, but it looks good. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I even noticed right off the top of the trailer where Ethan Hunt is driving the motorcycle and he pulls up to the edge of the cliff. All the sound effects are like, well, that's not what it would sound like to me. But all that said, it does look real cool, though.
It does.
It looks cool.
I know. It's a good action movie.
Yeah, and here's what I don't get. I haven't even seen the most recent Mission Impossible.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I know everybody says that. But why does this? What is so different about this trailer than, say, was it last year Netflix put out The Gray Man?
Yeah.
It's not that different. The trailer's not that different.
First off, this has history to it.
It does,
Second of all, for The Gray Man, that was all that was in the movie, and they did put that all in the trailer.
How do I know that? I never watched the movie.
Listen, Tom Cruise, at least he puts a good movie out, all right?
That's right.
So
I trust him.
I'm sure it'll have a lot.
I trust him, and it sucks, too, because he used to be a guy where I intentionally would avoid trying to see his movies because he sucks. But as a person, but his movies are just so good. I can't.
I know.
I can't stop watching them.
I feel the same way. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's in July, and it looks good.
Yeah,
as amazing as past trailers, maybe not.
Yeah,
but still right on up there.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. What I thought was, especially when they're like parading around Europe in this trailer, I was like, this is not that different from The Gray Man. And I watched The Gray Man trailer and I was like, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
And then never watched it.
There's only so many chase scenes that you can do in a car in a European alleyway.
That's right. It's not something we've not seen before, but for some reason it's just better when Tom Cruise does it.
So does anybody like the trailer? Are you excited? Is it a pass? Is it a yes? What do you think about it from yesterday?
I think I'm, you know what? It's been a trailer for me watching the most recent Mission Impossible that I never watched. That's what it's a trailer for.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Check this out. I am upset today because one of my favorite companies has turned against me.
What they do?
They betrayed me. Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, you love a good hot dog.
Has changed the name of their iconic Wienermobile after 87 years.
Like officially, or are they just doing this for press?
I mean, it says it all over it. They're doing a whole campaign about it. It is now, they have multiple Wienermobiles, but no longer. Now they have multiple Frankmobiles.
It's not the worst change.
Doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
Actually, I feel like it's better, but, if you were used to Wienermobile...
Yeah, Wienermobile is what it is.
But I wonder if, because the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, I think, was more of a popular thing a long time ago. So maybe they're trying for like a new generation to have the Frankmobiles.
Why would it be more popular as a Frankmobile? What's
maybe
fun about that?
It needed a change.
You know what they said? You know what they say? They say the Wienermobile all through these times has always been to encourage people from to make sure they don't take things too seriously.
That's what they said.
That's
what they were saying.
A quote
from them?
From Oscar Mayer. Frankmobile is way more serious than a Wienermobile.
See, this feels like an ad campaign because what they're doing is they say the rebranding is for the new 100% beef Franks that they're coming out with or just focusing on.
Yeah.
So I bet you could give this a year and then they'll be like, well, we're going back to Wienermobiles because we love all hot dogs.
Yeah, but there's two problems with that. One, they just shouldn't do it. And two, that also means they're changing their hot dogs, which tasted totally fine before.
That's the real issue.
Yeah. Why are you calling attention to that? If you just didn't make a big deal out of it, now I'm mad about the Wienermobile. And I'm mad about the flavor of the hot dogs that I probably wouldn't have noticed if you just shut up about it.
Because now that it's 100% beef, you might not like it as much. I think you like
Well, it was always 100% beef.
Well,
but,
no, I don't know. I think you liked when it was more of an assortment.
No, I don't buy that knockoff chicken, pork, and turkey nonsense. I buy the real thing.
Well, they want to focus on you knowing it's 100% beef, and they've decided to change the Wienermobile to the Frankmobile.
They've also, listen to this. You know what's even worse than changing the name of the Wienermobile?
What?
Changing the name of Weenie Whistles.
Oh, is that also?
They even failed at this. They could have called them Frankie Whistles.
Uh-huh.
No, they're just Frank Whistles.
Oh, it is going boring, isn't it?
It's so Frank is such a grown-up name, too.
What about the drivers? So the Frankmobile drivers will be known as Frankfurters instead of hot doggers.
I can live with that.
That one's actually
That's
good.
an acceptable change.
So if you see the Frankmobile, the Wienermobile, this summer, they're going to be handing out coupons for pre-packs of hot dogs and Franks for Franks promotion is what they're doing.
They're giving away giving away free hot dogs.
People, they're giving away people.
They're giving away coupons.
What are you saying?
To people named Frank. So I'm going to have to go and lie and say my name is Frank, which I also don't like doing. I hate to have to lie, but what am I not going to get a free
hot dogs? You will.
Free hot dogs, and there was one other thing. Oh, well, how about this, Nikki? What if they had done this instead? What if they called it the Glizzymobile?
The Glizzymobile?
Yeah, wouldn't that be better?
I think I like
that. Would actually be
Frankmobile.
fun. It would be like, okay, they're trying too hard, but at least it's fun and like now and current and modern and like 2023.
I never cared about the Wienermobile, but I don't mind the change. It doesn't mean anything to me.
But that's the problem. You never did care.
I never cared.
And this isn't going to make you care either. And that's what they're hoping.
Oh, it's good to not care.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, what a blessing that would be.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Question for you, Nikki. Be honest.
Yeah.
Not every time, but sometimes do you get a little happy when people break up?
Oh, maybe. Well, it's more if it's they haven't been dating too long and you just knew it wasn't going to work out.
Yep.
And you know it's not really hurting maybe the other person. It's actually better for them.
Yeah.
And you called it the whole time.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to tell them that. So
that's exactly what it is.
So maybe
you called it the whole time. You could see from the jump this isn't going to work out.
It wasn't right.
And then it feels good to be right.
Yes, a tiny bit.
Yeah. Hopefully it feels better to be right than it feels bad to get broken up with in that
Exactly.
scenario.
I mean, like if your friend's been going out with someone for like 10 years or something.
That's upsetting.
That's upsetting and that's too long. But if it's only been a short dating experience and they're better for not being together, then yes, you're
exactly
a little glad that you called it correctly.
I'm with you on that. And you actually bring up a great point is that when you do see people oftentimes where you're not expecting them to break up at all, and then they break up or, get divorced or whatever, that is the total opposite effect where that, I think, every time you see, they're few and far between, but those breakups that, actually chip away a little bit at you and well, if they can't make, I thought they, it
would be together forever.
Yeah. So if they can't make it work, then what hope do we have? Can you actually, is love actually real?
Are you saying when your parents divorced?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
They were just waiting for you to be old enough?
Yeah.
And you had no idea.
A lot of people have gone through that, and I think it can be, that's the prime example, but there even other people that especially, I think it hurts a lot when it's your friends too.
Sure.
Because you're like, man, I thought I've been with them all along the way. I thought that they had it figured out. So I think that can happen, that over time, sometimes your idea of love can get chipped away at by the bad breakups that you see and the people that you thought were really in love and then they still can't work it out. It hurts a little bit. But I want to let you know that there is reassurance for that, because real love can exist and real happy relationships can exist. And God wants to be that reminder for you that
of a healthy relationship.
Exactly. That no matter who else you see breaking up or sticking together or whatever it is, or what relationships you go through, that there is actually real love out there. And there's love out there that comes from God, that Jesus is going to love you through everything, through all the turmoil and strife and trials of life. And that he can also help you find that with somebody else too. Jesus wants to do that for you. He wants to be there for you, giving you that love every day. And all you need to do is be open to it and be ready for it. Just say, hey, God, I want that. I want to see some real love again. Show me what it's like. And he'll do it. If you want to know more, RadioU.com/free gift.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
I've got a guy from Iran it's Iran, isn't it? We learned that during the World Cup.
Whatever you want.
Iran. I have an Iranian man who says that he's survived the last 17 years by only drinking soda.
Only soda?
He drinks soda, and by when I say that, I mean he doesn't consume anything else but soda.
So a liquid diet only?
Yeah, he does do water, and then he'll occasionally do tea, it looks like. But by and large, his diet is soda.
And it seems like has sugar soda. Because at first you're like, well, he can't have any zeros of anything. He needs to have some calories.
Yeah, that's right. He would waste away, right?
Oh, I'm surprised he's still alive. He gets all of his energy from, carbonated or like energy drinks.
Yeah.
He has 3 large bottles of soda per day. And he insists that he never feels hungry.
That's not even that much. The 3, like if he's drinking 3, well, I guess 3 2-liters is a lot.
He's pretty skinny. I mean,
he is skinny, which is surprising.
He's skinny.
Well, when you don't eat anything, he has lost over the last 17 years about 70 pounds. So it's not even that. I mean, I don't know how quickly he lost that.
How's his, okay, no picture shows this, but how's his teeth?
I was going to ask the same thing. Does he have teeth?
If you have a lot of carbonated drinks, and especially sugar ones, his teeth must be just awful.
Maybe you're just brushing them regularly.
No,
a
you
big
can't
toothbrusher.
You cannot brush enough to fix that.
And we learned this a while back that if you brush right after eating something, especially, or drinking something acidic like orange juice or soda, it's like you're brushing the acid into your teeth. It's actually worse. So if he's drinking 3 bottles a day, there wouldn't be a time where he could brush his teeth where it wouldn't be doing harm.
Now, he's super old, but like you feel like he needs his mom. Because
he's super old. He's 58.
That's what I was going to say. He's not that old.
He looks older than that.
He does.
And he says he sleeps just 4 hours a night and spends his night watching TV.
Oh, wow.
And working on puzzles. It feels like someone needs to tell him to just get his life together.
He just does puzzles and watches TV. He's not like he's living the dream, to be honest. He's kind of like a 10-year-old. He's just slugging Mountain Dews, staying up all night, watching TV.
The only thing that's
out.
missing is video games.
Yeah,
if he played video games, he'd live the 13-year-old dream for sure.
So he just doesn't like food. He says he never liked to eat in front of people. He doesn't like to be around people that eat. Food makes him sick, and so he just drinks all of his stuff.
It is disgusting, though. What got all this started is he said he had a weird feeling in his mouth. He said it felt like there was a head of hair in his mouth where the head would start in his mouth, and then the hair went all the way down through his throat and esophagus and everything to his stomach. And it felt like it was like pulling on his throat and everything. And so disgusting.
Ever since then?
Sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And so he went to multiple doctors. None of them had a solution. And so his solution was, I'm just not eating. And apparently it's worked.
Why can't he have soup or something?
He should try bread.
He's missed. Well, I mean, he used to eat. So, he knows what it all is. He just chooses not to eat anymore.
He spent 41 years eating and 17 years not.
I wonder if they have Texas Roadhouse there, because if they had some Texas Roadhouse rolls, I mean, come on.
You think he could change his mind?
I think we could switch his mind.
To change his mind.
I'll mail it to him. Yeah, I guarantee Texas Roadhouse rolls. It's real easy. It tastes really good.
You could just have the butter if you want to start off with something.
Yeah, he hasn't even had the butter. Oh man,
Nikki, one food to change his mind. You got one?
I don't think he'd be interested because all that stuff I can think of. Well, no, there's a lovely soup would be wonderful.
Soup.
It would just be so comforting, and you could have something besides Pepsi.
Yeah.
The fact that you drink Pepsi also just, that's what you're drinking.
That's his go-to. That's all he drinks.
No offense, but I think
if anybody knows what's a good soda, it's this guy, though.
Pepsi
He's probably tried them all.
Pepsi
at
to
this
me
point.
feels like that's the hair going down your throat.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
We all know, we've all heard how you can use AI to cheat at school, if you want to call it that, if it is cheating, using ChatGPT. But did you also know you could use it to cheat as a professor?
Oh, the other side of things.
Yeah.
Oh, to grade things?
Uh-huh.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is. Because
It'd be like your teacher's assistant.
Listen to this. This is at Texas A&M, where one of their professors, who also happens to be their campus rodeo instructor, because they have one of those.
Well, it's Texas A&M, baby.
Yeah, that's right. His name is Dr. Jared Mumm. He's the campus rodeo instructor. He also teaches agricultural classes. And he got caught. He actually called himself out to the students that are in his class because he sent out an email that said how he called it ChatGTP
For teachers.
to grade their final assignments, and ChatGPT made all of his students fail. What he says he did was he ran each student's final assignment through it's actually ChatGPT twice to see if ChatGPT thought that it looked like it was written by AI. And on every single one, every single time.
Oh, so it failed itself.
ChatGPT was saying this was written by ChatGPT, even though I'm sure that
The
can't be.
ego on ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's right. So he wound up giving everyone a 0, an X, like just failing every single person in the class. Even though, like, again, this is a very flawed way to do it. Clearly something is wrong. But all that said, after this whole hubbub goes down, it seems that several seniors who have already graduated have been temporarily denied their diplomas as a result.
Oh, because they're figuring it out?
Yeah, because they're sorting this out.
Texas A&M confirmed they're aware. They said no students failed the class or were barred from graduating as a result of the issue. The professor's working with the students to determine. So, okay, it's not like the professor was really using the ChatGPT to grade things. He was just showing them that if he did, they would all be failing. So there are a lot of students that were using it during the class. So now they're just trying to work through who would get an actual failing grade or not.
Yeah, why can't he just, isn't that his job to figure that out?
I
tell by
agree.
hand.
But I can tell just by the photo of Dr. Jared Mumm.
You voted him out.
He just doesn't look like the kind of guy that I might want to hang out with, if I'm being fair.
He's a professor. He's not going to be your friend.
Yeah, he clearly was not their friend.
He looks like a guy I'd want to teach me rodeo, though. If I ever need to learn rodeo, I know who I'm calling.
Can you imagine?
And you don't need any ChatGPT for that.
I know
Nope, you don't.
He's just trying to teach them all a lesson. So some of the students are still waiting for their diplomas from the class. So Texas A&M's trying to figure it out.
And oddly enough, I don't know if you guys saw the interesting twist that someone ran, because he's, Dr. Jared Mumm. Someone ran his own doctoral dissertation through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT also found that his doctoral dissertation seems to have been written by ChatGPT.
We got a lot of accusations going around.
I like it.
And a big ego on ChatGPT, to say the least. It's taking credit for everything.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Now, Isaiah, I want your expertise on this. Your parents, they own toy stores, multiple. You go to like a toy convention every year, right?
Yes.
When is that?
That is the last weekend of June. It is in Chicago.
You going?
I'm actually not going
You're
this year.
skipping this year?
Yeah, for our Chicago listeners, I just didn't really feel like going to Chicago.
I was like, wait, did
last
they
year-
invite you?
What they did, I actually talked about it on the phone with my mom this morning when I was running behind, and she said, "Do you want to go?" And last year it was in like Miami, and so this year it's in Chicago, and I was like, Doesn't sound as fun.
Yeah.
In a weird way, it doesn't sound as fun. So I said probably not this year.
Do they have it in June? Because then it's all what will be the It Christmas toy? Like what's going to be the big thing?
They do all their orders then for Christmas. So everything they order there is to come at Christmas pretty much, all the new stuff.
Can you believe he's been to so many toy conventions that any toy convention he can say, that doesn't sound fun.
He just passes on?
It doesn't matter all of the toys. It matters where it is.
Yeah, it does.
What a
because
crazy perspective.
For me, the toy thing, because I've been around toys for like my entire life, as most people have, but in the toy store, it's just different. To where now I have just a short temper on toys because I just see kids come in every day and grab silly things and be like, I want this. And in my mind, I'm like, why? And then their parents are like, sure. And I'm like, stupid.
Oh, that feels so wonderful.
Well, I want to know what you think, if because I'm seeing here before the toy convention happens even, what is proposed to be the hot toy of Christmas 2023, and it is called a Bitsy.
I've never heard of it.
No, because it's brand new. You can't buy it yet.
Oh, I see. So it's not like just the hot toy that everybody's buying.
Yeah, but a Bitsy is similar to, you might remember Tamagotchis. Remember that? You ever have a Tamagotchi pet, Nikki? Mm-hmm. Or wasn't there a thing like Neopets?
That was also a thing, yep.
This is similar to those where it's a little animal you take care of, but here's the difference. It's like a little ring box type thing, and you open it up, and it has like a little light show inside that makes it look like your little animal is floating in midair, and it's like glowing and whatever. And then your animal can change and grow over time if you take care of it, which again, that's all lifted from Tamagotchi or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just a new take on it.
Like a hologram? Is it a hologram?
It looks like a hologram, but you can see here, this is how they do it, right?
There's
it's that little
LED
thing, but it goes real
strips.
fast. Yeah.
So there's LED strips that flap up and down, and so it's flapping while you are looking at it, and then that shows your character moving. Kind of like if you would go at Christmas, like a light show.
Yeah.
Like one of those drive-through ones. It just moves back and forth.
Yeah. Or you go to like you go to a theme park and they sell those little things, those spinners that you press the button.
Yes, it spins
and then
so
it spins
fast.
around real fast and it says like Disney World or whatever. Like that's the lights make it say that's what this is. But of course, it allows your animal to change over time, and it looks like it's floating. And I'm seeing here that it's just it'll be just sold for just $30, and everything is included. So it's not like you have to buy upgrades, or you can choose you get to choose whatever animal you want.
There's a downfall.
What is it?
So the Bitsy thing that they're saying is going to be so cool.
Yeah.
Because it's strips of LEDs, they're not as durable.
Shocker.
And so you can touch the strips and kind of make your pet do things.
Yeah.
But there's only a certain way you're supposed to. Otherwise, it'll break them.
Children
and so
will
you're
break
going to
it.
have to buy more.
Children will break it.
Yeah.
Or that will just be the appropriate amount of time that kids will actually be interested in it. And they'll move along to something else.
We always moved past our toys
Yeah.
fast. They say that for your digital pets, you have to gently tap them. And I never could gently tap.
You don't have the soft feather touch, do you?
Not with the toys. When you were young, you were so excited.
That is true. That is true. Well, do you think, in your expert opinion, will this be the hot toy of 2023?
If it's something that I think is dumb, which I do, they'll probably love it.
It's going to be the best.
Dumb with animals.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
Police in Argentina have arrested a woman after she allegedly locked her boyfriend in a room for 72 hours and didn't let him leave.
That's a long time.
That is a long time. She was afraid he was going to cheat on her.
Oh, so she kept him in there?
So she locked him in her bedroom.
When reading this article, it doesn't feel like it was a healthy relationship.
Sounds scary. Sounds
drama.
How it went down was first she took his phone, uninstalled WhatsApp. Then she's like, that's not good enough. So she smashed his phone. So he has no way of contacting anybody.
To get out of the room?
Yeah, and he can't leave. So he's stuck in this room. And according to him, for 3 entire days, he was stuck there before he was finally somehow, in some heroic way, able to steal the phone from his girlfriend and text his friend to get help. And the police showed up and arrested her. So he's got his freedom back. Don't know about his phone.
How long would you have till you panicked? Like, maybe I won't get out of the room.
24?
24
hours?
Maybe 12?
Just
72 is
depends.
way too long.
I know you would start to wonder by
I
then.
don't know. I think I'd be pretty calm, though.
It depends on, like, is there food? Is it an ensuite? Is there a bathroom attached?
What I'm thinking is like, this guy has so little going on in his life that he can be trapped in a room
No
for
one
72
knows.
hours.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a job or something.
Right.
If I didn't show up to work for 3 days, don't you think one of you two would be like, "Where's Isaiah?"
Yeah, I
And
would
so
hope.
when I see things like when I hear words like WhatsApp and I hear things like being trapped in a room for 72 hours and nobody noticed, I start to think. Loser.
He wouldn't. Well, I think they both had some issues. Let's see. She's been arrested for illegal deprivation of liberty, is what it's called.
Interesting. I also see that this is no surprise, but this was a long time coming. Apparently, basically from the beginning of the relationship, she was the jealous type.
Oh, sure.
Really?
Even to the point, yeah, shocker. Right? Even to the point where she had set a curfew for him if he would go out with his friends. And by the way, I don't think we mentioned this. How long do you think they've been going out?
Oh, this is a short relationship, isn't it?
Based on
new.
this, I would say maybe years to have that jealous connection.
Isaiah, what do you think?
I'm thinking just the way you said it. It's got to
I
be
know,
like
must-
3 months or something crazy.
It's 6 months.
Oh, no.
She set a curfew for him in the first 6 months of dating.
Wild. Can you
and he's
imagine?
like, okay. He just goes along with. I know that this might sound like victim blaming, but come on, somebody sets a curfew for you that early on. You got to get out of there.
So he
That's
was
crazy.
locked in there for over 72 hours, and then they had to rescue the 29-year-old man.
Well, maybe. Do we even know? Was he cheating?
No, they don't even say.
Oh, he was cheating.
No,
He's using WhatsApp. He's for sure cheating.
he might have been maybe talking
You know
to
what?
other ladies, and yes.
He probably aspired to cheat.
He was trying to cheat.
But
Well, he was just probably bored going with his curfew.
But you would
if
think.
he was sticking with the curfew gal, he couldn't have cheated if he wanted to. it
But you
sounds
know
like.
what? If you gave him a curfew, that's going to make him want to defy you even more. There's
Well,
no way.
She gave him a curfew because there must have been something. So, I mean, it all probably
I don't
started
know if there
off,
must have been something.
but it just seems like it wasn't healthy.
Even if there was something, this is still not the right way to go about it.
I think they both get a failing grade on this one.
That's a good call on that.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I got a question for you guys. How often do you sit down to pee? Nikki?
Every time.
Isaiah?
Every time.
Unless you're...
Even if the seat is gross,
No,
you're in
okay.
public?
If you're like on a road trip and it's a gas station, if it's that gross, I turn around and leave and I go to a different place.
Yeah.
Because, you can hover, but it's just not the same.
Where do you stand on porta potties? Is that a similar thing, or
That's
is that
really
okay?
hard. It's almost like, unless I really just can't hold it anymore, I will try my best to hold it.
I love a good porta potty. Because I'll tell you what, the urinal and the porta potty, there's something about it that just feels
They're
kind of
higher.
special.
They're higher. And so I think you get less.
It's so gross.
I think the angle is better.
I like if I can pee in a urinal and a porta potty, that's
You're happy?
that's like an exciting thing.
but it's so hot in there. Though.
It's
There's
you,
always the
you
problem.
can't be in there very long.
No.
And
but
I
I
don't
You
like-
pass out.
I don't
Yeah.
like how there's always gaps like in the floor and the ceiling and everything else going on. It feels like it's just right there.
The ruckus outside.
Yeah.
You don't know if this handle is even gonna hold. It's
Yeah,
flipped to red, but is it really green on the outside?
And
You don't know.
There's always a line for a porta potty. It's
Oh,
never like
yes.
you could just take your time in there.
Yes, it's always a line.
Now, is this different for? I want to gauge this for me, Nikki. When you go into a restroom, like in public, how often do they have the covers actually stocked that are supposed to be the little things you pull off to put on the toilet seat, like the tissue paper
papers?
thing? Yeah.
I don't think maybe as much as they used to, but usually you can find it somewhere.
I'm sure they're like bad for the environment, but I often wish when I do have to use the public bathroom that it's like, I wish they would actually stock these because there's always the thing for them.
It's probably more
and they're
off-
always empty.
It's probably because they put them all in the women's restroom.
Yeah,
That's what I was
right.
thinking. I've seen those like only a couple times in my life, and until this past year, I didn't even know what they were.
I had no idea.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, I wish I could use those.
I just wish they could keep the bathrooms cleaner.
Yeah,
and then you
that's
wouldn't
right.
Need it,
You wouldn't
but
need those.
That's asking a lot.
You want an attendant in there?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, you like
I
that?
love a bathroom attendant.
That's fancy.
I love those
You
guys.
tip the bathroom attendant?
Hudson. No.
What do you mean no?
What am I? Because they give me soap. and they give me the paper towel.
And they
that's
keep
all
it
you
clean
need?
in there.
I don't even know if they do that.
Their job is standing in a bathroom.
Yet
If
again,
there's anybody I want to tip, it's the
I
bathroom
have
attendant.
bathroom attendants that I am close with. There's one named Mike that I see him frequently. Super great guy. He always gives, and I've given him money before, but that's only because he always is like, Isaiah, whatever you need. If you need gum, you take gum. If you need a mint, whatever you need. I got cologne here. Spritz it on yourself, freshen up. I got Listerine, the whole 9 yards. I will tip Mike. The other guys that are just giving me the soap, like, come on.
And if it's a nice enough place to have an attendant, you're not worried about things. It's the truck stops and the other things that you'd have to worry about.
Oh, okay. So the matter at hand was actually sitting down to pee.
Why don't you hang on 1 second till you give the article?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it needs its own time.
It needs its own time. All right, let's do that. We'll get to the where people sit down to pee the most.
Can't wait to
Coming
hear.
up next.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
I have a survey here. It has the numbers on where men are most and least likely to sit down to pee. As far as countries go, not like locations. Like in a porta potty, I always sit down, and in different locations.
I hope not.
Yeah. So
Why is this survey worthy?
what do you mean?
Oh,
It's
Nikki,
actually-
there's
this
an
is
important. We're gonna
interesting.
get to why it's important here.
Yeah. Did you look at the numbers already, Nikki?
I have not looked at them.
Which country do you think is the most likely to sit down to pee for
Sit
men?
down. England?
England.
That's a good guess.
Except it's totally wrong.
Oh.
England's
Good guess, though.
England is basically the opposite. It's right near the bottom of countries that are where you're least likely to sit down as a
all right.
man.
Is it the United States?
No, the United States and England are very similar in that men don't want to sit down to pee.
Then I give up.
They were both near the bottom, although the least likely country to sit down, for a man to sit down to pee, Mexico.
Which makes
All right.
sense. It makes sense.
Why?
We'll get to it, but continue on. Give them the rest of the survey, and then I'll tell you why this all makes sense.
Okay, the country where where men are most likely to sit down to pee is Germany.
Germany?
Only 10% of men say they never sit down to pee in Germany.
They never do?
Only 10%. That means 90%, at least occasionally, decide to sit down and do it.
So, all right. Well, why? Is it because because you have a sick stomach? Is it because you like to watch your phone? Like, why? Is there another
You like
reason?
to extend it a little bit?
No, I don't really, but my curiosity is getting me.
See, I think that the ones at the top here, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Canada at number 4, not
right.
surprising either. The reason is, and you look down at the bottom, we've got Mexico at the bottom. And so what that means to me is, if you go down to Mexico, all you're going to meet is a bunch of tough dudes. A bunch of dudes that stand when they pee, and you go up to Canada, you don't know what you're getting.
Is it too
Maybe a little
polite to
softer.
have the urinals and stuff, and instead you have the stalls?
Well, even if you have a stall, you can still stand up.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know.
If I went in the stall, I'm still standing. I think
I just assumed you'd sit
you
down.
sit down. No.
But it has the seat.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
using
so
that
you
seat.
lift the seat. If you're a good guy,
Yeah.
you lift it up.
I can't.
Yeah,
And
you
if you're a
don't
bad
sit.
guy, you don't. And
You
if you're
don't.
a really bad guy, you leave the lid closed too.
Or you just don't clean it up afterwards. Because the
Yeah.
crazy thing about standing when you pee, there's 3 things you can do as a man that you just have to do if you want to be a man, which is stand when you pee,
Okay.
pee outside, and don't care if the door is closed or open in your house
sure.
when you go pee. If you're hastily closing that door, if you refuse to pee outside, if you sit when you pee, I don't know if a woman's ever going to love you.
All right.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 things you need to do as a man to just assert your
Isaiah's only
alphaness.
saying this because he'll pee outside his house.
I think it's an important
With
factor
reckless
in your
abandon.
life. I think it's an important factor of your life is
What a
being able to
weird
pee
study.
whenever you want.
Okay.
I think being able to pee outside is much more of a benefit than being able to easily pee outside than standing up.
Benefits?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a better benefit.
And the wild thing, too, is when you pee standing up, it's just, you're going to have to clean it up. Like, when I pee standing up, there's about a 30% chance that's a good
It's a
portion that's
mess.
going on the seat.
It is a mess.
And I could save myself time by sitting down
You would?
Yeah.
and not having to,
But-
actually clean up.
You'd have to take your pants all the way down,
What a
which
world you
is
guys
so
live in.
inconvenient.
What a world.
And if you're washing your hands, I don't even know where to start with you.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
I've got a new secret to weight loss, and it's not Ozempic, and it's not Wegovy, and it's not a calorie deficit diet. It is acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
All of your problems can be solved with acupuncture. But this isn't your typical acupuncture. This is ear acupuncture.
You know what I don't like?
What's that?
Every time you talk about these weird things,
Yeah.
I've done it.
That's what I was thinking.
Have you done the ear acupuncture?
I've done the ear beads. It's ear beads. It's not.
Yeah.
So, like, I've done acupuncture for a long time because I had surgery on my jaw, and so it was very helpful.
Yeah.
And so there are these little beads with like a Band-Aid attached to it, kind of like a stickiness. And then you put them at different points in your ears, and it's supposed to help suppress your appetite.
Yeah. So wait, you've tried this?
Did it work?
Did it work?
I think by way of like a placebo, you're like, yeah, I'm not hungry.
All of a sudden, you poke me enough times with a needle, I'm not really that hungry.
A lot of people also choose to get piercings in certain areas on your ear for like migraines or for weight loss.
I've heard
And
of
so
that.
There's certain spots in your ear where it can help suppress your appetite.
I've heard about the migraine one for like the ear piercing or whatever. I know people have done that.
So would you, Isaiah, try this in an effort to stay in better shape? There's no needles involved, right?
No, it is literally a little silver bead that just puts pressure on certain points on your ear. They just stick it on there. You don't even feel it.
See, the ear has always been a sensitive point for me that I have.
like it.
I
It
Sounds like everything is a sensitive point for you.
I thoroughly enjoy the ear. Like the whole like touching of the ear. I think it feels good. And so for me personally, I think I'd be for it.
You'd be like it? Hey.
I think so.
You can buy them on Amazon and just, learn where you're supposed to
But
put them.
I feel like it would feel better if somebody else was doing it. Kind of like when you like tickle your foot. If you do it yourself, it's not ticklish. But if somebody else does it, then all of a sudden it's ticklish. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure, yeah. Okay.
I think the same thing with the ear.
Yeah.
Dang.
Except you have to, you're paying for the acupuncture.
Well, you know
and
how to do it, Nikki, so
I can put them on your ear.
it seems as if maybe you could just do it.
Now wait, I'm leaving tomorrow, so
We're
it's
gonna be
have
quick.
It's gonna have to be Hudson.
I'll pick him up tonight. Sounds like a fun last show.
It's like, here, don't move. We put them on. Yeah, you just stick them on your ear.
This is crazy. Listen to the results from this, too. They were following 81 men in Europe who were overweight or obese. They followed them for 3 months, having them do the ear beads, right?
Yeah.
And after 3 months, the men lost an average of 4 inches off their waist. Losing an inch a month, over an inch a month. That's great news.
If you happen to get those good results, that's good. You'll go to certain countries, like in Japan, it's really popular. You'll see people like with their ears taped up. And that means they got a lot on because they're really trying.
You just like put them on and leave them on
They
for a
just
while?
sit
I don't know how
on,
that
like,
works.
I'm confused as to like the whole thing.
It's a tiny little silver bead that has adhesive, like a tape over it, and you just put it on certain points, and because it's taped onto your ear, it's like putting slight pressure on it, and then you just leave it alone. You don't even notice it.
For how long?
Till it falls off.
So you like for those 3 months, the guys probably literally had beads on their ears the entire 3
Probably
months.
the whole time, because supposedly that pressure is what's making you not as hungry.
Does it feel good?
You don't even feel it.
Darn it.
Now, when you,
I was hoping it would
what
feel
about
good.
when you put on and take off headphones?
No, they're so tiny you don't
They're that
even
small.
notice it. Yeah, they're just tiny little beads.
So now knowing that you'd have little tiny beads on your ears at all times.
Well, now that I know they don't feel good, it does less for me.
they don't feel
I
good.
thought that it
People
would be-
see them.
I thought it'd be like a pleasurable experience on my ears. It
and
doesn't
it was
sound
always
like
embarrassing because they're like, "Why do you have the tape on your ears?" We're like, "I just want to lose weight."
Yeah.
it. I'm trying something new. All right, take
Don't
it
ask
easy
about
on me.
it. It's fine.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Okay, I've got a new dating term for you to watch out for. A new dating. I don't know if it's a trend, but
It's a trend.
is it a trend?
I think it's a trend.
It's called delicate dumping,
Aww.
which definitely sounds like something you would do in the bathroom. But that is not what this is. This is where it's kind of similar to ghosting, where if you're going out with somebody where maybe you guys are actually official,
Yeah.
but you don't want to be anymore, instead of just having the talk and saying, "Hey, it's over," or instead of ghosting them, you just slowly reply to stuff. You just wait to get back to them.
It's a slow ghosting.
Yeah, when they want to get together, you're like, "Well, I can't Thursday, but maybe Sunday, or maybe not Sunday, maybe not at all. You just kind of, you easily, delicately let them down over a longer period of time. But experts are saying that's a very harmful way to do things.
I thought delicate dumping is where you did have the talk, but you were just more delicate about it, not mean.
That's just dumping.
Yeah, I know that
That's
is
just a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not delicate to string someone along and not let them be able to move on if you're not really serious about it.
So
I agree.
So you think it's trendy to do this?
I think it's wrong. Okay, stance wrong. But I do think that this happens all the time. And I don't think it happens always like with like real relationships. But even I know this has happened recently with one of my friends where he was like starting to talk to a girl and they were like hanging out like a ton. Like off the rip, they were kind of love bombing each other right away. And then he was like, we kind of need to take a step back. And so he started like replying a little slower and not responding as quickly to try to slow things down. She didn't love that. Shocker. Yeah. And then they had a conversation about it, which ended up being okay. But I feel like this happens all the time with people. Maybe in the beginning, you're super excited and you just want to text all the time and you really like this person. And then you get like 2 weeks in or a month in or whatever it is, and you get to the point where you're like, do I really like them that much?
Yeah, you got to move faster than that. They say put your big boy pants on, don't be a coward, and disconnect from the relationship in a mature way.
Would you rather be just straight up dumped, delicate dumped, or ghosted?
Ooh, that's tough.
Isn't it
I
tough?
think I would rather be just ghosted.
Yeah.
I would rather have the hard ghost because if I'm texting someone that doesn't want to be talking to me anymore,
That's wasting time.
I just feel like an idiot. Like they're like replying to me a day apart, and I'm like, okay, if you're not really into this, that's fine. I'll just like move along, but I don't want to look like I don't need you to like coddle me like a child. You can just tell me or just straight up ghost me. That's fine too. But I don't want to be coddled like a baby.
Boy, it's bad when trends are that ghosting suddenly seems more reasonable.
Yeah, that's right.
Just stop texting me altogether.
Okay.
Just don't even say anything.
Why can't you ghost like everybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Stop trying to be
seriously.
nice to me.
Put on your big boy pants and ghost them.
Yeah, I don't need your sympathy text once every day. It's okay.
I don't need a delicate dumping. Just do the other thing.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.